Hello everyone, Ian Maddox, HMFP Financial Planning Simplified video series, connecting with you on the second part of our estate planning conversation. And today I want to talk about trusts. Before I do that, let me remind the audience that I am not an attorney. We do not have attorneys here in the office. We aren't tax accountants, but we deal with estate matters on a regular basis. So, everyone has probably, many people at least, have heard of trusts, but you may or may not know how they're used and what they can accomplish for a family's financial plan. First of all, let me just do some descriptions here. If you are alive, you can make decisions, right? You can decide what happens with your assets. You can decide what happens with your money. You can distribute it to people. You can keep it. You can live on it. You can invest it. You can do lots of things. But when you're gone, there's a legal structure that allows you to continue to direct assets after your passing. And the way to do that is inside of a trust structure. Why would you want that? Well, there's lots of reasons why you might want that. You may have legacy goals. You may have concerns about a family member that may be spendthrift. Another way of saying that is that they'll go through it very quickly and you want to have some control. You may need some tax efficiencies. So there's lots of different ways that trusts can be used. The scope of this video is not to get into the weeds on that, and ultimately an estate planning attorney is going to be the subject matter expert. We generally in conversations with clients say, hey, here's an opportunity where a trust might apply. Let's loop an attorney in, and so that they can step in and create that structure for you if it's beneficial. A trust is essentially described in legal terms as a non-natural person. You can ascribe rules and criteria and language to a trust that continues after your passing. It can go into perpetuity technically. It can go hundreds of years. It just depends on what your needs are. Trusts can be used they can be funded immediately, so you can put assets into the trust as soon as you've created it. In many cases, especially for a lot of folks, they will create what's called a springing trust, a trust that comes into fruition or comes active or alive when the person that created the trust is no longer alive and assets are directed to go into that trust. That happens a lot. When you're funding trusts on the front end, there's many reasons why you might do that, but that's usually a higher net worth individual that would be funding trusts while they're alive, whereas the average person, I guess, so to speak, might fund a trust after their passing. Either way, there are potential tax efficiencies. There are ways to transfer assets to the next generation or legacy that you can control the rules, which many people desire and like. And so it can be a very efficient tool for estate planning. Again, the attorney is the subject matter expert. You can loop those folks in. We do it all the time. Until next week, we'll talk about the next subject on our estate planning series. Ian Maddox, HMFP.